Hey everyone, this is my survival slingshot. I built it using a couple parts that I bought from the dollar store and then some spare broken parts that I had laying around the house. First I'll go over the parts list and then a brief tutorial, and at the end I'll show you a test fire to show you how it works. For this project you'll need a cheap paint roller, a hole punch, some black electrical tape, metal wire, black nylon rope, some duct tape, some of these zip ties, the top of a soda bottle. This part's kind of optional, but I think it's a nice little addition. And then something elastic. I'm using this broken bicycle tire inner tube. You can get it from a bike shop for free, I'm sure, or you can use rubber bands. I just cut them into these 10-inch strips. You can see they're pretty elastic and strong, and if they break, you can just use some more. You just want to cut this in half and then cut them in slits using a razor blade. It's pretty self-explanatory, just be careful. Now I'll show you guys a quick tutorial. First you want to start with your duct tape. It's about a 5-inch section. Okay? Cut it down the middle, halfway, in the center. Okay? A little bit more. Now fold over one of the edges. You're building the pocket for your slingshot. Fold this portion over again, and then down. Now see, if you do a crappy job like I did, you're going to have some excess. So you might want to clean it up. Make sure that you have a nice solid piece. Alright, there you go. Then you want to take a nice pair of hole punches and about a quarter from the edge, quarter of an inch that is, and center, you want to make your little holes for your rubber bands to attach to. You can see this thing sucks because it was $1, but you can see where the holes are supposed to be. Now I'm using the bands that I made from bicycle tubing. That I think is best because it's free. What's better than that? Next, take your useless hole punches and you want to take your paint roller and break it. So you just want to take this thing off. Now, you're most likely going to break the rest of it, which is why I would recommend lighting this on fire with a lighter, heating it up until the plastic sort of melts that's holding and anchoring this in place, and then just twist it out, because these are very fragile and very like poor quality plastic right here because it's hollow. The grip is alright, especially when you add some padding to it, which is the nylon rope. So what you want to do is take your wire and your fork, which is your useless hole punch. Well, you know what, I can't really say that because it's a hole punch for paper, not for duct tape, so I'll give it some credit. But anyway, it would be a lot nicer if it could actually go through the things that I want it to, like 3-ply of Gorilla Tape. I mean, come on. So then you just want to wrap this. And wrap it. And go around here, like over the bottom. Okay. And back. And over. And it's going to look like a rat's nest for a while until you get it. Okay. Now, I'm not going to sit here and do the whole thing because that would take a long time and I'll break everything. But you get the gist of it. You want to keep this nice and solid. Then you want to take your paracord or your nylon recycled grocery bag. That's exactly what this stuff is. It's like recycled grocery bags. Look at it. You want to use that to wrap your handle. Now, what I recommend is making a loop, sticking it at the top like this. Okay. Alright. And then with the other long edge, you just keep going around. Okay. Now you obviously want to keep this nice and away. Okay, but you're just going to keep going, and you want to make sure that you're keeping this portion of the bottom out of the way. Okay, so you see how I'm doing this. It's overlapping this portion here. That's going to be like right here or right here, it doesn't matter. Okay, so once you get to the very top, you're going to cut this portion here, the very end. So now you have two loose ends, but the one that you were wrapping, all the way to the top, you're going to put through that loop, and then when you pull this, let's say it was choking up against it like this. Okay. Now if this rope was all the way up and choking up to that point, you pull this frayed end, and it's going to pull, and it's going to lock that in place right up against my thumb, or where the actual rope should be. And then you just take this portion and cut it. And you can just set it there or melt it and push it in. It doesn't matter. But for example, you can see how I've done that. Right here is that portion and right here this went through. Maybe difficult to see. So this is the portion that went through, and then this is the loop. See the loop right here? Okay, very self-explanatory on the majority of this. You have your fork, your handle, your wrap. You're going to use some black electrical tape to make it look nice. Okay? Real knowledge, I guess you could say, is using a hole punch and the broken handle of a paint roller to make the bulk of your slingshot. Next is to cut off the top of a soda bottle right here, and then glue that onto the bottom right here. And that's going to create a nice little ammo compartment. Now if you take a little bit more glue and you seal that hole, it's going to create a waterproof and airtight container so that you can put matches, you can put some other supplies in there that you could use for survival purposes. Some fishing line, some hooks, whatever. So that's a nice little added feature. Then you just connect all of the bands using zip ties or the threaded portion of this rope. If you break it down, it's like a 3-piece of rope. It's like 3 pieces that are twined around each other. You can take one piece and make a nice little knot instead of using zip ties, and it's pretty nice. So sorry for this rat's nest, but really, you guys are so intelligent. Like, everyone is intelligent, and from my experience, the reason that I don't do something is because I'm afraid that I'm going to fail. And failure is just a way of learning how not to do something. No one is going to do everything right the first time. So it may take some trial and error. I don't do this on the first try. Sometimes I have to take a couple other tries and do things wrong and break things and have to rebuy them. And it's frustrating. But it's fun in the end when you build something cool that you can show your friends, or maybe that can save your life someday, or if you just want to do some practice outside. You know? Who knew you could buy a slingshot from basically the dollar store and then go to the bike shop and get some trash from their garbage can, which is these little tubes here. So just believe in yourself. Everyone can do something. It's just some people are afraid to fail and some people just don't want to try. So anyway, enough of that stuff. Let's go test this thing. Here I have the slingshot. I'm going to take a few test fires from 20 feet back. I'm going to take a couple steps here. And I'm shooting those marbles. So we'll see. Probably have to aim a little bit high. Ooh. I forgot. Keep hitting left. There we go. see they're shooting for recycled bicycle tire inner tubes. It's not bad for these bands, so I'm surprised. It's actually working pretty well. There we go. One right center in the middle. Let's see. Yeah. Alright, I got the hang of it. Just takes a little bit of a learning curve with how you gotta twist your wrist. Oh, hit the wall. That wasn't good. Yeah, that didn't happen. Okay, so here you can see that shot right here. Looks like I hit another one there. They're doing pretty good, decent. If there's some small game, it might stun them, or if you're using the right ammunition. I mean, this obviously isn't the best. Has a lot of wind resistance. You'd want to use something a lot stronger, like a ball bearing. Something that they sell at stores like this, and you can fit a lot more of these in the handle, so that's nice. But for a couple bucks at the dollar store and some recycled inner tube, you really can't beat it. I like the design. I think it's useful, and I don't know, what do you guys think? Leave a comment below. If you like these kind of projects that you can build at home easily, also let me know, and thanks for watching.